everybody, this is a djembe. Welcome to our video blog series number 3, and this is a djembe, and I'm showing you this djembe because there's a story behind the djembe. As many of you know, Don and I have been involved in a outreach to developmentally delayed individuals, people with Down syndrome, autism, Asperger's disease, and people with physical issues as well. People who have had strokes that are trying to relearn gross and fine motor skills. People with spinal cord injuries that are trying to relearn those movements as well. And it's a really exciting ministry because for me, you know, it's kind of deep in my heart because it's an outreach to the disenfranchised people of our community who are typically just kind of pushed to the side and, you know, kind of forgotten about. So it's an exciting ministry, and I'm doubly excited today because I want to tell you about how this ministry is going to go global. Just returned from a trip to North Africa, as many of you know, and in that trip, it was a 2.5-week campaign. We were conducting evangelism training. We were supporting evangelistic events for churches and our ministry partners. And also, the exciting thing, all that's exciting, but one of the really exciting things that came to light was I heard the passion and heart of our ministry partner for the epidemic problem of homeless street children in this particular country. Now, there's somewhere between 500,000 and 1 million kids on the streets from ages 5 and up, and they end up on the streets for various reasons. Escaping an abusive and violent environment at home, poorly planned or unplanned rural migration where they'll come in from a desert town into a big city and unable to cope. Various things will happen. The family busts up and the kids they find themselves alone. So there's just a whole number of things that can happen to find these kids on the streets by themselves. So it's a huge problem, and it tugged at my heartstrings right away. So I was talking to our ministry partner about this problem, and he started sharing with me more about it, and I started telling him about the TRAP program, the Rhythmic Arts Project that reaches out to these kids at home, the ministry that Don and I are involved in. So his eyes just lit up, and he thought that program would be a great addition to an outreach package for these homeless kids. There are a number of charities operating in the country that will house the street kids on a temporary basis, and then there are drop-in kind of teen and youth centers where they can come into, and so it's a perfect opportunity to take the TRAP program to teach fundamental academics, again, gross and fine motor skills. You know, the academics part can be basic math, spelling, kind of, you know, prepositional concepts, and a huge social interaction component, which would be obviously really important for these kids. So these kids are in danger, you know, and we're finding that this is a way that we can possibly reach out to them and be Christ to them, be light to them in the dark lives that they lead. So I would just ask for your prayers for these kids. Ask for your prayers for that all the details would come together that would allow perhaps Don and I to go back to this country and serve these kids and train a group of people who would facilitate the TRAP program, you know, on a long-term, ongoing basis. So I just want to share with you just a couple of really quick stories about these kids. as I said, some of the kids are trying to escape an abusive and violent environment, and one of the kids' name is Mona. She's a 12-year-old girl. She walks the streets of downtown, only has one eye because she was maimed by her father when she was 5 for the sole purpose of going out with her mother to beg. So we have parents that are intentionally maiming their children so they'll be effective panhandlers for tourists, for example. Adele, another boy at 6 years old, he was, his legs were cut off in order to be an effective panhandler as well. Another story here about a 13-year-old girl who has a child, another baby on the way, lives on the streets, and desperate situation. She can do nothing but befriend other street people, such as gang members, gang leaders. And that's another trap these kids fall into. They fall into gangs. The women are forced, or the girls are into forced prostitution. Some of them become baby-making machines for the babies to be sold on the black market. It's just horrific what's going on there. So again, the TRAP program would be a small component, or maybe a big component, to address this problem and to reach out to that population that so desperately needs help. So again, just appreciate your prayers. Please pray for them, and again, all the details would come together so we can go back and share the program with them, train them, and just be effective in reaching those kids. So thanks for watching, appreciate it, and we will talk to you soon. God bless.